Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video, and in this video I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. This AI Dungeon 2 scenario is one that I created based off of 4 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So I went to the Yu-Gi-Oh Wikia and I hit the random page button 4 times. Once to determine what the main player character was going to be like, another time to determine the main player character's arch enemy, another time to determine the setting, and another time to determine the goal. So essentially I looked at 4 random Yu-Gi-Oh cards and then created a story scenario based around those Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and now I'm going to try and see if I can complete the goal of the story scenario within 30 minutes or less. If you guys are hype, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because we do AI Dungeon 2 videos like this every day. Also, if you guys enjoy talking about AI Dungeon 2, definitely feel free to join our Discord. Without further ado, let's hop on in to today's episode. So let me start the 30-minute timer, and let's start filling in the information that we need to get this scenario off the ground. So we got to name the race of humanoid turtles. I guess we're just going to call them Turtlenoids. And then name the magic tuning fork. I'm going to call it Schumanstone. And then name my arch enemy. So my arch enemy, I guess, will be Maliciatour. Okay, there we go. And then my character's name will be Jet Black. We're going to go with the classic, just calling myself my normal name strategy. You are a member of a humanoid turtle race called Turtlenoids. Your shell is incredibly powerful and helps to protect you from taking damage. You have the ability to summon reptile-men allies whenever you take damage. You are looking for a magic tuning fork called the Schumanstone that can allow the wielder to attune their power to that of their enemies to absorb their power. Your arch-enemy is named Maliciatour. Your arch-enemy is a nature spirit beast shaman with the power to negate magic spells by sacrificing the lives of animals and banishing their souls to another dimension. Your arch-enemy wants to claim the magic tuning fork in order to steal your powers. You and your arch-enemy are inside of an ancient Egyptian tomb and are competing to claim the magic tuning fork. You need to claim the magic tuning fork before your arch-enemy can steal your powers. And then the AI said, you are a human from the planet Earth. You have always had a strong connection to what you think as the magical energy of the universe. You grew up always feeling different from the rest of your peers. Well, I'm not a human, because I'm a member of the Turtlenoids. I could get rid of that human part and just say you have always had a strong connection to what you like to think as the magical energy of the universe. You could rephrase that. You grew up always feeling different than the rest of your... I mean, it feels kind of unrelated, but I could make it work. So get rid of the you are a human from the planet Earth, or maybe edit it and say you were once a human from the planet Earth until a magical event transformed you into a turtlenoid and transported you to a realm of monsters and magic. You have always had a strong connection to the magical energy of the universe. You grew up always feeling different than the rest of your peers. Okay, there we go. So instead of like completely getting rid of what the AI said, I just adapted it to where it kind of adds to the story and to our character's lore. So I'm essentially going to move carefully through the Egyptian tomb, looking out for traps. You don't want to accidentally set off any traps while searching for the Schumanstone. Hopefully my arch enemy sets off some traps and they get killed. You move slowly through the corridor. You are looking for traps. You wonder if your arch enemy will be less careful and die rushing directly into a trap. And die by rushing directly into a trap. You mainly just want the Schumanstone so that your arch enemy can't use it against you. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Bum, 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 bum. While you are searching for traps, your arch enemy is probably rushing to try and steal the magic tuning fork from you. Your abilities are always more powerful than your arch enemies, but your arch enemy makes up for it with numbers and greed. Numbers and greed. Does my arch enemy have like a whole army of like, I guess like animals with them since they're like a beast shaman? Let's see. So I wonder what would help me find the magical tuning fork. Since the game said I have a strong connection to the magical energy of the universe, maybe I can use that to my advantage. I'm going to attempt to tap into the magical energy of the universe to help sense the location of the Schumanstone. Yeah, if I can find the Schumanstone, then maybe I can get it and destroy it before my arch enemy can get their hands on it. You close your eyes and picture the universe. You can feel the magical energy flowing through everything. You take a deep breath. Suddenly, your eyes fly open. Your arch enemy is attempting to steal the Schumanstone. You need to get back to reality. Oh crap. Okay. So I'm going to try to carefully maneuver, if I can spell maneuver properly, carefully maneuver through the corridor and try to stop my arch enemy from getting their hands on the Schumanstone. You yell, "Don't." I actually don't know what more to say. I guess I could say don't. Don't let your greed consume you. You're already powerful enough. You don't need to steal my power. Okay. Let's see if that works. You yell at your arch enemy in an attempt to scare them away from the tuning fork. You then hear the beating of leathery wings. Your arch enemy is close. You need to get back to reality. Okay. So I must still be connecting to the energy of the universe. Excuse me, and not fully focusing. Like my eyes are open, but maybe I'm like still too zoned out. You realize that you are still too closely, well, I guess you notice that you are still zoned out and focusing on the energy of the universe. You are so zoned out that even though your eyes are open, your mind, well, I guess your eyes are preoccupied, seeing visions of your arch enemy. You know that your arch enemy is nearby and that they are approaching the Schumanstone you try to snap out of your trance so that you can attempt to stop your arch enemy from getting their hands on the Schumanstone. Yeah, so it's kind of biting me in the butt that I tried to use my magical attunement to find the magical tuning fork, because now I'm stuck seeing like visions of the universe and of magic, and my arch enemy now has the opportunity to just kind of race in and grab the Schumanstone. You snap out of your daydream and see your arch enemy approaching the tuning fork. And then it repeated, you need to get back to reality. But now I think I just am back to reality. How would I stop my opponent? Let's see. You know that as a Turtlenoid, you aren't particularly fast. Your arch enemy has wings, so there is no way you could move fast enough to stop your arch enemy from grabbing the tuning fork. Let's see. So if I can't move fast enough to stop the arch enemy, okay, you look around for any booby traps that you could set off to hinder your arch enemy's progress, slowing him down long enough for you to catch up and attempt to stop him from grabbing the magical tuning fork. Okay, so that's the plan. If I can set off a trap, then I could stop him before he gets the Schumanstone. You notice a tripwire. If you pull the tripwire, it will drop several large stones and block your archenemy's path. You'll also notice that pulling the tripwire makes a lot of noise. Okay, that's fine with me. I'm going to pull the tripwire to block my archenemy's path and attempt to race around the blockade while my archenemy is confused and stunned. So, this should work out well, hopefully. You pull the tripwire and several large stones fall, blocking the way. Your archenemy is stopped short of the trap, but you are too far away to stop him now. You see him pull out a scroll and vanish. He has escaped. Let's see. You hope that your archenemy... Well, hold on. You don't mind the fact that your archenemy has left the tomb. You mainly wanted to get your hands on the magical tuning fork so that your archenemy couldn't get it themselves. You wonder if your archenemy teleported out of the tomb, or if your archenemy simply teleported to the other side of the blockade. Okay, because that would suck. You are afraid that if your archenemy teleported to the other side of the blockade, that they may now have the magical tuning fork. you approach the blockade and attempt to navigate past it to see if the magical tuning fork is still there. Well, I mean, is still where you last saw it. Excuse me. The AI generated just an exclamation point and nothing else. So I'm gonna hit retry. Not sure if I've ever seen that before. It says touching the tripwire causes large stones to fall. We already did the tripwire thing, so keep going. Are you happy that your Turtlenoid arch enemy has decided to leave the tomb, or would you prefer they stayed around so that you could defeat them once and for all? Weird. I'd prefer it not be a thing that's phrased as a question, and I'd rather just have it play out and we see what happens. The blockade is solidly packed, and there are no holes that you can see. You attempt to use your tentacles to move the stones, but they are placed in such a way that they are impossible to remove without heavy equipment. Interesting. You think to yourself, I need to know if my arch enemy teleported to the other side of the blockade. I have to make sure that my arch enemy doesn't have the magic tuning fork. Okay. I'm going to attempt to hurt myself using one of the rocks so that I can summon reptile-men allies to help move the rocks. And I'm going to state that I want to move the rocks so that I can see if the magic tuning fork is still on the other side of the rock blockade. Because that'll determine whether or not my arch enemy is essentially about to steal my powers, or if my arch enemy actually did teleport out of the tomb once the rocks fell. You smash your head into a rock and summon more reptile-men allies. Using your newly acquired allies, you attempt to move the stones, but they are too heavy. Your allies don't have enough strength to move them. Okay, so even with the reptile-men, we're not strong enough to get past the rock. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to command my reptile-men allies to focus their magical energy into me so that I can focus the combined magical energy into a beam to blow away the rock blockade. You channeled the magical energy into a beam of focus energy to blow away the blockade. The heavy stones are no match for your high energy focus beam. You clear a hole and look through it. You are on the other side of the blockade. Nice. Okay, so I'm now on the other side of the blockade. So now I'm going to check to see if the magical tuning fork is on the other side of the blockade. If the magical tuning fork isn't there, then that means that your arch enemy has already claimed the magical tuning fork using their teleportation abilities. If the magical tuning fork is still there, then maybe you could use the magical tuning fork or yeah, I mean, you could use the magical, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to steal my enemy's powers. Then maybe you could destroy the magical tuning fork so that no one could use its powers. Yeah, I don't really think it's right for anyone to steal the powers of others. At least not while playing this particular character. You know, this character's on a journey to make sure that their powers don't get stolen. I doubt that they want to steal someone else's powers. You look up and see that you look up and see the tuning fork on a stone pedestal. A ray of sunlight shines on the magical tuning fork, giving it an almost heavenly appearance. The magical tuning fork glows brightly. Yes, okay. So I am excited to see that my arch enemy left without claiming the magical tuning fork. And then I'm going to attempt to fire another magical energy beam, this time with the goal of destroying the magical tuning fork. You don't like the idea of people being able to steal powers from one another. You want to destroy the tuning fork so that no one ever has to worry about having their power stolen ever again. Yeah, so I'm not going to sink to my arch enemy's level and let my greed overcome me and use the magical tuning fork in order to steal my arch enemy's powers. Instead, I just want to destroy the tuning fork, and then essentially everyone can kind of live happily ever after. You fire the beam of magical energy directly at the tuning fork. The tuning fork begins to vibrate more rapidly. The tuning fork begins to shatter into countless pieces in a way that is almost beautiful to see. Awesome. I did it. I destroyed the magical tuning fork. And I was able to use my powers too. I used my power to summon additional reptile-men. I used my connection to the magic of the universe in order to fire magic beams. I never really used my super durability that I get from my Turtlenoid shell, but that's okay. Being a Turtlenoid did come into the picture though, because of the fact that as a Turtlenoid I was too slow to catch up with my arch enemy who had wings and could fly. So yeah, I feel like that was pretty satisfactory. I guess one thing that never really came up, my arch enemy has the power to negate magic spells by sacrificing the lives of animals and banishing their souls to another dimension. My arch enemy kind of only existed there to be a race against the clock thing. Oh man, can I get to the magical tuning fork before my arch enemy does? And then once the game more or less said, yeah, your arch enemy gets blocked off and kind of gives up and teleports away instead of teleporting to the fork, then I guess it became a mystery box. Am I going to get through the blockade and then have to fight my arch enemy? Or is it just going to be a clear path to the tuning fork? And then once the mystery box was opened, we realized, oh, I can just get to the tuning fork. At that point, I didn't know if I'd actually be able to destroy the tuning fork or not. Especially when I shot it with that energy beam and it said that it started vibrating rapidly. I wasn't sure if it was going to attune to your energy or whatever, because that's just what it does. And then not explode or whatever. So I'm glad that I was able to destroy it. It ended up being a lot easier than I thought. And the game even said that it shatters into countless pieces in a way that's almost beautiful to see. So that's cool. You get a flashy spectacle ending. Maybe it looks almost like a magical firework goes off when the tuning fork explodes. That'd be pretty cool. But I will say, there definitely was like some suspense. You know, there were a few moments where I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to like make it in time. Ooh, especially with the earlier part of the adventure where it's like, oh, you're so attuned to the magic of the universe. It's like you're still not like outside of your head. So you're still seeing like visions of like magic and stars, but the longer you're stuck inside your like daydream, the easier it'll be for your arch enemy to get their hands on the tuning fork. So what do you do? Like, how are you gonna stop them? So I thought that was pretty dope. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. This is my first time ever creating an AI Dungeon 2 scenario where I took like 3 Yu-Gi-Oh cards and tried to like, well, not 3, 4 Yu-Gi-Oh cards and tried to make a story out of it. If you guys want to see another video like this, what I suggest you do is give me the name of 4 real Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the comment section below or on our Discord, and I can try and create more stories like this. I need 1 card to represent the player character, 1 card to represent the setting, 1 card to represent the arch enemy, and 1 card to represent the goal. I think that's a really cool idea, being able to use Yu-Gi-Oh cards in order to tell stories. And thanks to AI Dungeon 2, you can really turn any story scenario into a game. So it's like I'm using pieces from one game in order to make a story for another game. So I think that's pretty dope. But what did you guys think? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and on our Discord, and make sure you smash that like button. How much time do I have? I have about like 4 minutes left. Wow, we actually finished that up like really early. I didn't know how soon I'd be able to get the magical tuning fork. So let me use a little bit of time to tell you guys a little bit more about what I've been thinking about recently. So I've been thinking about what it would take for me to actually do like AI Dungeon 2 and YouTube stuff full time. I know that I have a ever-growing audience. It seems like we're gaining 50 new people every month. So we're like constantly growing, and that's awesome. I'm super excited. And I currently work a full-time job. I'm a research engineer, and I love my job, absolutely. This is like what I went to school for. This is what I've always wanted to do and who I've always wanted to be. That being said, everybody has dreams. Everybody has like that, you know, if you could make it big, what would you really want to do? And to be honest, my YouTube channel is really just me playing games that I enjoy and hanging out with my friends. Like most of my videos are like, I'm hanging out with my friends playing a game, or I'm playing a game that I like anyways, and I'm hanging out with you guys in the live chat and having a good time. So who wouldn't want to just hang out with their friends and have a good time just for like the rest of your life kind of thing, and you get paid to do it? In other words, I've been thinking about the idea of what would it take for me to actually do YouTube full time. And I've decided that I would do YouTube full time if I could make $60,000 a year doing YouTube. So I thought about it, and I was like, how realistic of a goal would it be to try and like do YouTube full time? And I think the only way I could really do that is if I had some kind of like monthly subscription. That way you have guaranteed money that comes in every month, that can be used to help like pay the bills and support yourself. And my goal is $60,000 a year. In order to reach that goal, I would need at least a $5 subscription tier. And the subscription tiers wouldn't change the normal content. So everything that I already do, I would just still do that. The subscription tier would somehow have to be more than what I'm already doing, offered for $5. I don't know what that would be. That's kind of what I need you guys' help with. Let me know in the comment section below and on our Discord, what should the $5 subscription tier be for like a YouTube membership? Because I'm thinking about starting a YouTube membership that has a $5 subscription tier. So for $5 a month, I'll do X, Y, or Z. I don't know what X, Y, or Z is, but it needs to be worth you guys spending $5 a month on me doing it. And if I can get 1,000 people, right? 1,000 people to do like the $5 tier on YouTube, then even though each person's only giving $5 a month, you know, at the end of the month, that's $5,000. And that would be enough for me to like live on, and to be able to do YouTube full time. So that's one of my goals. I just don't know what the $5 tier would be, and to be honest, that has to be something that you guys come up with, because you guys would be the ones who would be paying the $5 a month, and it would be up to you guys what you think is like worth it. So I definitely want to work with you all and try and figure out what would be best, and then from there, we can like start to build up more and more people who want to like join like the membership program at the $5 tier. And then once we hit like 1,000 people, I should be able to do like full-time YouTube, living essentially off of like $60,000 a year, thanks to you guys. So we'll see. This is a big, lofty goal. I don't think I've ever tried to do something like this before. But that being said, I haven't really set in stone anything. I don't know what the $5 tier would be, but it's a start. And I just want to let you guys know that that's something that I've been thinking about. So definitely give me your ideas on that in the comment section below and on our Discord. Hey, thank you all for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding, 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 ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we do these videos. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace, guys. Chicken a bow wow. Chicken a bow.